Do you or your partner feel stuck in a crisis? Then this episode of Love Bites is for you. Hey there, welcome to Love Bites. Meet my husband, Dr. Girish Kumar. He's the founder and Chief Healing Officer at Human Connect.
This is my wife, Jyotsna.
And in this episode of Love Bites, we are going to show you how to convert your crisis into a blessing for your relationship. So Girish, let's first understand what exactly a crisis means.
Anything that you want to communicate and you are not able to communicate, we should understand we are caught in some crisis in our life.
Right. It's really important for us to acknowledge and accept that we are in a crisis before we start dealing with it. So what are some different types of crises that you come across?
So basically, when we are seeing that when we are married or we are planning to get married or whatever status in our life we should understand first thing people come is that mental health. We don't know that we are caught in certain stages of life. There will be ups and downs. As a child, we are grown with always the success. When we come out of the family or when we are planning to get married or after we get married, there will be a situation that things will not go according to our way we think. Most people go to a depression there, and that is a mental crisis that most people go through. Second thing we will see most common is like financial crisis. So everything is going smoothly, suddenly some needs they get and they are not able to do that. Then we will see that health issues, that is a crisis. So which we take very personally and we don't talk about it. Fourth, it comes with family and friends that we are not able to balance the relationships, and that is a crisis. Right. So all these things are different type of crisis that we are not talking and we are not discussing openly with people.
Usually whenever we face a crisis, we feel that it is the lowest point in our life. But for us, crises have always been a way to transform ourselves and take our lives to the next level. So when you are going through a crisis or if your partner is going through a crisis, please do not look at it as a big setback. Instead, use that opportunity to transform your relationship. That your crisis will not be a curse, it will actually be a blessing. So how does one actually take that crisis and use that to improve their relationship, Girish?
Very simple but very powerful. When we understand that the crisis can be a blessing in our life, when we accept that, then this magic will happen. So for example, when I was in a job and when I wanted to come out of it and start my own business, for that, Jyotsna 3 years back, she started her own company. I had seen that a lot of things that she did learned from her mistake and she made it powerful. So when I started my business, I was very focused and say that this is what I want to do. So maybe that energy of Jyotsna when she was learning and doing that, if I took that as a curse, I will not take in my company. When I started, I saw that curse is a blessing for me to start. And when she was doing that, I was constantly helping them at that point of time. So when I started, you were the backbone for Human Connect to start. So whatever you failed in the initial, but when you did to my company, all that turned into a blessing for us, so that we are able to connect. It's very powerful.
Yeah. So, and I was in my job about a decade ago. It was a very successful career for me at that time. So leaving that job looks like the biggest mistake. And if I had any other husband, maybe they would have reacted in a very bad way. But Girish did not react. He responded. He tried to understand why did I want to make that career decision, and he was looking at ways to support me during that time, which was so helpful. So I think when one partner is in the crisis, the other person should respond and not react to it.
So if you see today, so we are both able to travel. So many people ask us how you are able to do it. This is the one of the strong energy that we cultivate, that we are there for each other when the financial part or the emotional part, that we are there for each other to fix that.
I also feel that when your partner is going through a crisis, instead of blaming them, if you are there to listen to them and understand what led them to this crisis and what can be done next, they actually start looking at you as their hero, because now they know that you are in their team and you're not in the opposite team to blame them.
So this often happens mostly when I think in a certain way, when the children are fighting and all these things, suddenly I make that to support the children. Immediately Jyotsam reminds me that let's be in the same team to handle it. And suddenly this is how the switching of energy should be happen. One partner is supporting the children, the next partner immediately should go and communicate that we are in the different court now, we should be in the same side of the court. So I think that by that way you are able to balance that energy, that we are able to go forward very powerfully.
That's so true, Girish. What I've also noticed in some families is when one person is going through a big financial crisis, they do not tell their partner first. They go and borrow money from their friends, they go and ask their parents for money. The husband or wife will be the last person to know about their crisis. And when they come to know, they feel extremely bad because they feel that, oh, I'm not important enough. That's why this person has not told me, right? So I think it works both ways. If you are in a crisis, please confide in your partner. Please let them know what you're going through. And if your partner is in the crisis, please be open to listen to what they have to say. So basically, this works both ways. If you are in a crisis, then you need to trust your partner and let them know what you're going through so that they can be there to support you. Or if your partner is going through the crisis, they need to also be in a position to open up to you. So you need to be that kind of person who doesn't blame your partner but actually listens to them and provides a solution. So I think life is a circle, right, Girish?
Yes.
Today your partner may be going through the crisis, but tomorrow it could be your turn and you may end up in a big mess. But if you are there to support them, then definitely when you are going through a tough time, they will also be there to support you.
So God has given this life for us to grow each day by supporting us and supporting our spouse when they are in crisis. So I personally recommend everyone who are going crisis in the relationship or finance or health, see that this is a golden opportunity to you to get back to your spouse and to start a new life with lots of love, lots of power, with lots of commitment, that when you are doing from your heart, you will see magic in your life.
What you said is absolutely correct, Girish. Because what I've noticed is couples are deeply in love when they get married. But after 10 or 20 years, when that love fades away, but when they're going through a crisis, they tend to fall in love again with each other as a result of that crisis. So please make use of a crisis as a blessing and get back the love of your partner. We will see you in the next episode of Love Bites. But until then, if you have a relationship challenge to discuss with Girish, please do not hesitate. Go to humanconnect.in/apply and sign up for a free relationship reset session with Girish. We will see you in the next episode. Bye.
Thank you. Love you all.